Hello and welcome. These are horse racing selections for Thursday, the 17th of April. I am Flatcap Callum and I'm hoping you are all very, very well. Back in the studio. Here we go. Albeit it's not going to be really long because this has ended up being a very late upload. We have got the full Sharpies are in, don't worry. So we'll do the review of Wednesday. We've got 1550 going out on Thursday, so we're up in it a bit. It's 7 selections in total across 6 races, and it comprises can't get my words out. Comprises of 4 each way Yankees. So smaller stake Yankees. So for those of you who like an interesting staking plan, this is what you've got. For those of you who like it simple, well, you've had your fill. Now we're having a little bit more complication in here. So the staking plan is built around a slight lean on certain horses compared to others in terms of my preference from a value perspective. That is what we've got. And yeah, so do that. Obviously, I mentioned it on the last video about 5,000 subscribers. I don't really know. When I think back when I started, I don't really know what I thought where I was aiming for. I mean, I knew what I was trying to do, but I didn't know if anyone was going to watch. So yeah, I think probably 5,000 was a fair bit beyond my expectations. So yeah, thank you everybody who has chosen to press that subscribe button. Because obviously watching it's one thing, but then actually subscribing because you want to know when the next video is another level. And people don't get, like, when you press subscribe, it's not like I've got a whole list of who's subscribed and who hasn't. Like, it doesn't work like that. Some people have preference to be what they call a public subscriber, so therefore you can see, but most don't. So I don't know who's subscribed and who doesn't. So you could comment and I wouldn't know if you're subscribed or not unless you are a public subscriber, which is the minority of folk. Thank you each and every one of you who has chosen to do that, because it just helps the channel grow. And as I've always said, I've never set out to be like the biggest or the best. I'm just doing what I'm doing, staying in my lane, and that's it. And I believe if you promise to try your best and work hard, then people forgive you when it doesn't go so well. If you promise the earth and that's not what you get, then you're going to get disappointed, aren't you? So, so the aim here is under promise, over deliver. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, we're not quite there this week, are we? Or even for the calendar year, but International Positivity Week, the made up positivity festival, results wise, it's not been the most positive so far. We did have 2 second places on Wednesday, so we did start off nicely. What's Up With You was a really good second at 25 to 1 at Cheltenham. Then Elegant Erin, that was at Beverley, went down to 7 runner, got second, nice clear second. The price was well backed in. There was a 25p rule 4, so for the channel I put it up as 9. I didn't check all the odds, like sort of 10, 15. I know it was fine straight after the video, like within the first 2 minutes, but I'm imagining some others might not have fared so well on that one. That being said, I think, even if you got 7 to 1 and then the rule 4, you're talking about 50p difference. So yeah, I don't think anyone's going to split hairs about 50p difference on the profit and loss. So and then the last 2 weren't so good. I mean, Drashel Dasher did race prominently but faded, and then Castel Gandolfo didn't get near enough. So that were those. So it was £9.25 on a return of £7.03. So a loss of £2.22. So £11.47 down for the week, I believe, are the stats. That is that. Anything else I was going to say? No, we'll just get into it. Right. So here we go. Let's talk you through 2 races at Cheltenham, 2 at Newmarket, and 2 at Clonmel. So we're starting off with 2 Cheltenhams. So you've got 2 Cheltenham horses here. Flintara in the 210, 245 Cheltenham, Midnight Ginger. Both of those, I mean, it's been a while since I've put some of these selections out. It's been a bit of a gap from research to actual video making, but yeah, both I've got previous at this meeting last year, which is a nice standout bit of form. There's other bits in there, but that was sort of like a start for 10, if you like. That was kind of a noticing, and then I've got on from there with the form read, and happy with both of those. Then we've got the 3 o'clock Newmarket. For this bet, we've split it, so we've got two Yankees here. So Mythical Guest is the value lean, but I wanted to include Waiting All Night. So you'll see that Waiting All Night's only in this bet. Mythical Guest is in another bet. They are in, and then the 4:10 Newmarket, we've taken that a few times. My memory says Isle of Lismore at 20s. So the bet is 2 times 10p each way Yankee. So each way Yankee 1 is Flintara, Midnight Ginger, Mythical Guest, Isle of Lismore. Yankee 2, Flintara, Midnight Ginger, Waiting All Night, and Isle of Lismore. So that's 2 different 10p each way Yankees, with the third leg being a different horse. 4 times 50p each way singles, so all the decent price for there, 50p each way singles. We've got a 70p win single on Waiting All Night at 17-2. You can get 12s on 365 if you're quick, but 17-2 is a fair price for the channel. So 9, 10, and Sky being better on certainly those 2 races at Cheltenham, potentially when there's races at Newmarket as well. So Sky advantageous for place terms. Bet 1, 9, 10. That is it. And then you'll hopefully get the idea here. We've then got the Cheltenham 2 with the Clonmel 2. So 2:10 Cheltenham Flintara, 2:45 Cheltenham Midnight Ginger. Going on to 7 o'clock Clonmel Quint Major at 14s. And the 7:30 Clonmel, it's a big field bumper, this one. But Astley, if it was 33s, I wouldn't have taken it for the channel. For 66s, I'm happy to play. 80s and places you can get on at the moment. 66s, it was worth trying. There's a lot of unraced horses on bumpers here, so the form is a bit few and far between, but it was worth rolling the dice for 66s. I should have said it right. Usually I keep saying swinging the dice, don't I? Rolling the dice, said it right. Anyway, 10p each way Yankee, so that's 220, and we've got 50p each way singles on these. The bookie advice here is Sky first, and then because of this Quint Major race, that's the only one that there's outside of Sky. Some bookies are 4 and some aren't. So 365, Paddy, Unibet, Betfred, Boyle Sports. So they are in 420. That is bet 2. And then you can just about work out the last one. 2 Newmarket, but I've left out the shorter one, so we've stuck with the bigger one and the 2 Clonmel horses. So 3 o'clock Newmarket, Mythical Guest. 4:10 Newmarket, Isle of Lismore. 7 o'clock Clonmel, Quint Major. 7:30 Clonmel, Astley. 10p each way Yankee, 220. Bookie advice, same as bet 2 because of the Quint Major race. So you add that up together, it's 15.50. There's 8.80 on Yankees in that, and 6.70 on singles. So slightly more on the multiples. And what you'll find is, if you worked it out, the Cheltenham 2 and Isle of Lismore, there's slightly more money on those in the multiples compared to Mythical Guest next. And Quint Major and Astley, and then a little bit on the Waiting All Night. So they're sort of slightly tiered is the way that the bet works out. It's a little bit more, to be honest, a bit like what I would. It's more to do with like what in my own personal world, because I can normally trying to just put up 1 bet, 2 bets the way I would do it on here. But when I've got multiple horses, that's the type of stuff I do. Not the stakes I do, but in terms of actually, well, I've got 7 horses. What kind of different combos? Because I much prefer a 4-horse combination, like 4-leg combination. I just think the variance is too high on a 5-legger. So often in a 5-leg bet, so like a Canadian or something like that, 3 sort of break even depending on the prices, and 4 places is what you'd need for a win. Whereas in a Yankee, 2 big prices is enough to get you over the line sometimes. But the way I play it, always 3 places in there. So yeah, and to try and get 5 on a Canadian you just got to wait a while. So yeah, I prefer to play multiple different types of 4-leg bet. I do the occasional 5. I'm not so much of a Heinz man, for those of you who like baked beans and tomato ketchup and stuff like that, which would be a 6-horse bet, 57 bets if you do a Heinz. Yeah, not really my gig, in the sense of very, very occasionally I might put a tiny kind of stakey thing on it. I mean, you won't be able to get much on there, like it's probably just pence anyway. but yeah, it's hard because on a Heinz, 4 might break you even if you've got good enough prices, and then to try and land the 6 in one, that's not something you can do very often. So that's a little insight. The four legs is my preferred, definitely. Anything I was going to say? I don't think so. Maybe we'll just go there. So, and then what we've got Thursday, that's Thursday, Friday. We've got all weather championships. That's what we've got, all weather championship stuff. So it's 3 meetings on the all weather, and then Saturday we get into some interesting meetings. Musselburgh Haydock, I think it is, and then the Fairy House stuff leading up to the Irish Grand National on Easter Monday. So each day is interesting in really different ways. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. There was a thing. Obviously, this week's not. The first few days is not good from a profit and loss point of view. Stats wise, overall the jumps horses are fine in terms of strike rate for the year. But what I have noticed is whether it's just a temporary thing or whether we are sort of just slightly tapering off at the end of the jump season into the summer season. But the strike rate for jumps horses, I think, if you tracked it from the 5th of April to where we are now, so that's like the last 12 days, it's something like 2 placed out of 20. So it's pretty poor. So we'll see how we fare, because I've got 4 of them, 2 Cheltenham, 2 Clonmel. And yeah, if we get 2 out of 4, that would be great. I'd be delighted with that. 1 out of 4, that would sort of suggest we're still, that would add fuel to the fire, if you like, a little bit. And certainly none out of 4, that would be a really bleak result. Unless the Newmarket ones do some stuff. So that's that. All right, I think I'll leave it there. I hope you're having a good week. It's late, I'm tired. I was going to explain to you, yeah. So I had a really nice, lovely weekend, like family holiday in Devon, last weekend, and got back on Monday tea time, and then Tuesday I had to go up to Scotland and back for a family funeral. So I was up at 3:30 Tuesday morning and got back at 11 o'clock at night, which is why I wasn't really in the space to do videos and stuff. So that all research for Wednesday selections was done at kind of airports, transfer coaches, that kind of stuff, rather than sitting on the comfort of my own home. So it's been a little bit, so I sort of was in Devon on Monday morning, Glasgow on Tuesday morning, and then back home again. What was that, Tuesday night? So yes, and it's Easter holidays, so kids aren't at school, and therefore life's even busier than normal. So that is sort of where I've been at with stuff. I'm now back in the comfort of my video studio, and I'll be aiming to do a video. Most nights might go into the morning, but I'll update you as we go. But I would expect we'll do a straight through till Easter Monday. All right, that is it now. I will go. I think this is the 3rd time I've said that. Thank you very much. Bye bye.